Hi, living in Boulder vlog, August 6, 2019, Tuesday. That was my dad's birthday. Wednesday, it's 4:11 in the morning. Right now, on the 7th. I don't know, maybe I'll get to sleep pretty soon, but I finally got around to doing a video. I should have done it earlier, but at least I'm doing it now. Kenny High just got smoked weed. I can't exactly remember where I was last night. Maybe I was organizing the roads, but I'm working on the Kingdom of BouldeRome. Just to do a quick rehash. The Kingdom of Rome was 420 square kilometers. Square miles. But I can't remember what Rome that is, but I'm pretty sure that's the one that's the same size as Boulder County, which would mean that Boulder County is 420 square kilometers. But whatever, Boulder County I know is 100 and... I can't remember, but 100... But the Kingdom of Rome... The Kingdom of Rome, like the Latins, who the Romans were, who the Kingdom of Rome was when Romulus came and took over Alba Longa and the unified Rome and Alba Longa. The Latin League. That area is the exact same size as Boulder County. Just like Rome is the exact same size as Boulder and all sorts of stuff. I could go on and on and on and on. So like the same distances, and I even have it mathematically worked out to percentages. And we're up there at 97, 98, 99, 100%. So it's magically an exact duplicate. The city of Boulder is an exact duplicate of Rome as well. Aqueducts are the same distance. They both have the same number of hills, the river going through the middle of it, all that stuff. But so I was just working. The last 2 days I was working on the website and Google Earth and the website, but then I started really doing Google Earth. I should have done that first, but I was like intimidated by it. It was like too big, so I was like, fuck it, let's just do the website first. So it's not that big of a deal, I can still, I still, have the way that I have it, whether it's all jumbled on the website. I just do a Control F and find what I'm looking for, bring it to where I need it. But so today I was organizing and building stuff on the Google Earth Boulder County. And I'm going to incorporate that into, my Google Earth. I have it in the Kingdom. But then I have a folder for Republic and then one for Empire and different things, like for different areas. I have a bunch of villas and big buildings that I put on tops of the buildings, and I can't have those there for the beginning of Rome because it's too sophisticated. So I put it in the timeline of the Roman Republic, and I just made it so that's their villas, because in the real Rome, they did have big villas and stuff, so I'm building it up more than Rome was built up, but and also I'm probably having more population, although I'll have it organized to the exact, so I'll be able to compare it exactly, the population. But I build stuff everywhere, towns and villages, and just to fill it up, to make it more interesting. And so I was organizing all that kind of stuff. Like I have a canyon up in the mountains that has a bunch of like little circles that mean yurts or tents. So there was a tent village up there. in my story, and then there's all these other ones, and so, but there are these two big ones, and I called them Autopia North and South. And the South one, it's like an actual big neighborhood, like like a town, a legit sized town, because it just so happens to be flat up there. And yeah, so I built a town with complete with houses and roads and Walmart supercenters, pools, tracks, velodrome, parks and stuff. Yeah, with I don't know how many houses, but I didn't finish it. I only got like maybe most of the way through. So right now I'm finishing it, finishing drawing the houses. There are still two neighborhoods I had to do. And then there's another one, Mountaintop North here, with Autopia North, which is a duplication of, I can't remember which one, but a Beverly Hills neighborhood, gated community where Denzel Washington and Eddie Murphy and Barry Bonds and Sylvester Stallone live. And so, and it fits in that area well, and it's really big. And I have to finish that one too, but I think I'm most of the way through that one. So yeah, so once I finish these two towns, I can then I have to draw in like the castles. I'll put a bunch of castles and lakes. There's lots of lakes up there. And so that'll be for my republics, because that'll be like for when there were people. Put those there as their like villas. Yeah. And I'll have some of them as actual fortified town. I mean, there was a certain number of towns, but not that many, maybe one. But yeah, so but I have to build those still. They're just the photos are still just pasted on. So that's another construction project. So yesterday I lost all of the roads. I organized the roads all the way across and then down and just in the mountains areas, because I had it separated mountains and flats, and all the mountains just appeared. I like somehow I accidentally cut it, but then I thought I saw them. I'll have to look at it again, because maybe I accidentally drug it to a place where I didn't know they were. No, because they were gone. So yeah, I accidentally cut it. So I had to, luckily, and I had, unfortunately had already uploaded it, so replaced it on the internet. But luckily on my other computer, I had the other file, so I got and retrieved it, and then had to rebuild those mountain roads again. But I'll have to go and relook at it, because then I went in and got all the different trails, because I have trails that I drew from in other files, and I just plunked those on. So now I have the whole BouldeRome area cartoonified. I wanted to cartoonify it, so that you could create a whole different world that doesn't make you think about this world too much. And it was too distracting if you build towns on top of the world that we have now, because you can see the roads, you can see cars on the roads, you can see people's houses, and you can see it right there. So you need to be able to block that stuff so that you're only looking at what you create, what I created, my buildings and roads. So so I had to I had to cover it. I thought about covering it with an image, but that didn't work because I couldn't build stuff on top of it, of the image, because I had to build stuff, and images are always on top with Google Earth. You can't layer them on the bottom of the Polygon drawing tool. So so then the other option was to put a big polygon color on top of it. But when you do that and it's solid, there's no texture, so you can't see the undulations of the mountains. And that's really important. So what I did was I put the polygon on, but I set it at 90% opacity, which let the bottom bleed through enough to help give it texture, and so you can see it. But not so. But not. It's still 90%, so you still can't see the houses and stuff at all. All you can see is the pattern of the curvature, the shape of the ground. So it's perfect. And then to add texture to it, so you see everything. I gathered all the rivers from the Boulder from the Colorado government website, and there's a whole bunch of them and little lakes too. So that covered it with those, adding more kind of like a spider web effect, so you can see it all go up and down, and then of course the houses on top of it, and then there's other things too I have to look at that I might throw on, but I don't think so. But and then the roads that are all over the place, and then the different lots of the areas, because I have different city-states, towns, which were independent political entities in the beginning of the Roman Empire, even though it was just a village with the area around the village. If you read Livy, those towns are all described as being individual. You know, like there's the story of Livy about Gabbi, the town of Gabbi, where there was the dictator Servius Tullius Superbus, and his son's like, hey, what should we do about Gabbi? They're still independent. And he goes, oh, ask my dad. So he goes, and the servant goes, so what to do about them. So the servant goes, and he goes, hey, your son wants to know about do about Gabbi. So he just goes and he just hacks off all the tallest stems in the backyard of the poppy plants. And the servant's like, yeah, he didn't say anything to me, but all he did when I said that to him was he turned around and cut all the tallest stems off the poppy plants. And the son's like, oh, okay, you have to kill all of the rich, powerful men of Gabbi, and then all the other people will just succumb. Well, that's how Rome took over the city-state of Gabbi. Well, Gabbi was 10 miles away and was a town that was like 4 kilometers in diameter in circumference, and Rome was a little town like 4 kilometers in circumference. You know, it's not like these two big kingdoms. There's these two little towns right next to each other. So, you know, that's how. So the areas, you know, if you have 30 cities, towns of Latinium, each one is just a little town with area around it. So then I have those with just varying different colors of green. So that helps give it the texture, and so you look at it and so you can see what you're seeing. So I haven't done a thorough tour of it yet, but it looks good to me, and I'm happy with it. And so, but I don't have the color covering the above timberline part, because I wanted to have that totally natural, because you can see the cliffs and it makes it more dramatic and more perfect. It's kind of like combining reality with cartoon. I look at my my Polygon tool like I'm cartoon, like I'm creating a cartoon world, but it's got the backdrop of Google Earth, which is pictures. So it's kind of like those cartoons people make where you have cartoon people, but they're in a backdrop of real photos. And I can't name any actual movie like that, but that's a genre of movie. So it's kind of like that. So, and because there's no structures up there to distract you, it's all natural. And so I wanted to take advantage of that. So, yeah, because I'll get distracted even just by one, you know, like parking lot or whatever. So, all of that, I have that completely built up, though, the whole thing built up, and but I have not done yet, and I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to organize and conceptualize, you know, the roads. So, you know, having your road continuous to go up, even though it's multiple roads, if it's basically the same canyon, you could call that like a road. But yeah, I want to make sure my aqueduct's still there. I built an aqueduct from Gross Reservoir. I want to go look at that now. But my pyramid's still there, and my other bike racer level building's still there. Oh shit, my battery's about to go. My battery's about to die. I gotta go. All right, talk to you tomorrow. I'll still be working on this tomorrow for another week, but maybe 2 if it's exciting enough. All right, later.